Hello, and welcome to tonight's Local Athletes News Report. The first topic that we will be discussing tonight is sports specialization. Sports specialization is when athletes participate in intense, year-round training in just one specific sport. As the money in college and professional sports has increased, the desire to train children to become star athletes has also increased. Many people believe that sports specialization can stop a child from developing properly, developing fundamental motor skills, and becoming a well-rounded athlete. Sports specialization can cause injuries in young people due to repeating the same motions during intense training on a daily basis. Muscles in the body can also become worn out easily. Due to children's constant growth at a young age, sports specialization could cause serious and repetitive injuries. Repeating the same motions for hours every day can also make an athlete emotionally drained and lead to a disinterest in their sport. It is commonly believed that overall physical fitness and common motor skills are improved when children participate in multiple sports. However, athletes today are more likely to participate in organized activities or sports rather than in recreational, unplanned physical activity. Sports specialization can be beneficial to athletes. If it occurs at the right time, when athletes have grown and matured enough, it can lead them to achieve sport-specific goals. Now moving on to our next topic, sports injuries, which are common occurrences in sports and can range from mild to very serious. Sports injuries can occur because an athlete pushes their body too much or is not in enough shape to be participating in a certain activity or to be participating in strenuous activity. Athletes can experience recurring sports injuries due to repeated movements and wear and tear of the same body part. The most common sports injuries are as follows: an ankle sprain, a groin pull, a hamstring strain, shin splints, a knee injury called an ACL tear, patellofemoral syndrome, which is an injury resulting from repetitive movement of your kneecap against your thigh bone, and tennis elbow. Every workout should begin with a gentle warm-up to help prevent common sports injuries. These warm-ups increase blood flow to the muscles and improve flexibility. Before participating in an activity that is new or that you haven't done in a while, you should also do some pre-participation training by working the relevant muscle groups for the weeks before the activity. You should stop any physical activity you're participating in when you are tired. Muscle fatigue can cause sports injuries. If you believe that your sports injury is serious, you should see a doctor right away. You should 100% follow the recovery instructions that your doctor gives you. Not following these instructions or returning to physical activity too soon may result in you re-injuring yourself or worsening your existing injury. Sports injury recovery procedures can range from icing the injured sport injury to major surgery. If you suspect you have a sports injury, you can use the Price method. The first step in the Price method is to protect from further injury with a splint, pad, or crutch. The second step is to restrict activity. The third step is to apply ice immediately to the injured spot. Fourth, you should apply compression. Compression with an elastic bandage will help reduce swelling. The fifth and final step is to elevate the injured area. Elevating the injured area above the heart will also help reduce swelling. You should get medical attention for a sports injury when there are deformities in the joint or bone, you cannot bear weight or cannot use a limb without it giving way, there is excessive swelling, there is changes in skin color beyond mild bruising, the injury is not getting any better after a few days of using the Price method. Wellness and balance can have a big impact on how you feel every day and can alleviate a lot of stress. It is important to balance all of the different things in your life so that you don't become too stressed over certain things and so that you find time to do everything you want to do in a day. To help achieve wellness and balance, you can use your strengths to figure out what skills can help you become more balanced and achieve wellness. For example, if you are very organized, you should make a meal planner that helps you plan out healthy meals and will alleviate the stress of cooking and wondering what are you going to eat for each meal. You should know your boundaries when it comes to exercising. This includes not pushing yourself beyond your body's capability, knowing your time restraints, being aware of the cost of gym memberships or other costs associated with exercising, etc. Having backup plans if something goes wrong so that it doesn't create any extra stress will also help you achieve wellness and be more balanced. If you don't have time to do something yourself, you should get someone else to do it for you. For example, if you don't have time to meal plan or grocery shop, you should use a meal delivery service, which can be healthy and quick. You should always prioritize what is important to get done in the day and make sure that those things are done first. And always remember that it is okay if you don't get everything done in one day. Your body needs a break from the same things every day. A lot of children and teenagers do not get enough exercise every day, and that has become a growing concern with parents and within schools. Physical education class is mandatory in elementary schools, but is often not scheduled for every day. In high school, students are only required to take one physical education course throughout the 4 years they spend in high school to graduate. This means that students in high school can opt to not be physically active for 3 years in high school. High schoolers only being required to take one physical education course throughout high school has become a topic of debate between many people, as a lot of people believe this rule causes teenagers to become inactive, unfit, unhealthy, and lazy. Physical education courses in school do generally focus on a variety of different sports and activities, which develops common motor skills as well as the ability to have skills to participate in many different sports. Unfortunately, physical education in school is often seen as less important compared to academic classes, so it is often not a priority in many schools. However, after-school physical activity teams are popular in elementary and especially in high school, which helps increase the physical activity participation level of the students that choose to partake in those programs. A professor of the Health Policy and Political Analysis at the Harvard School of Public Health, named Robert Blendon, said, "In a period with significant public debate about the content of educational reform, it is significant that many parents feel that more physical education is needed in schools." Dwayne Proctor, a director of the Childhood Obesity Team at the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, also said that parents should let their state boards of education and their local school districts know that they want more physical education for their kids and encourage state and local policymakers to provide the necessary resources for full implementation. Canada has many outstanding athletes, but one that most Canadians recognize is Christine Sinclair. She is probably the most well-known soccer player in Canada and is the most successful soccer player to ever compete for Canada. She first made her appearance with the senior national team at 16 years of age at the 2000 Algarve Cup, where she scored her first international goal. Since her first international appearance, she has accumulated more than 160 career goals, which ranks her second in history but first among active players. She has also competed in 3 Olympic Games, Beijing in 2008, London in 2012, and Rio de Janeiro in 2016. She won bronze at the London Olympics in 2012, where she was the competition's leading scorer, scoring 6 of Canada's 12 goals, including a hat-trick in Canada's extra-time semi-final loss to the United States. For her efforts in the London Olympics, she was named as the flag bearer for the closing ceremonies. She became the first soccer player to win the Lou Marsh Award as the Canadian Athlete of the Year. In 2013, she was inducted into the Canadian Walk of Fame. And during the 2002 FIFA U20 Women's World Cup in Edmonton, Sinclair won the Golden Boot as she was the tournament's leading scorer with 10 goals, as well as the Golden Ball as the tournament MVP as Canada finished second. In her first FIFA Women's World Cup, Sinclair scored 3 goals to help Canada reach the bronze medal game. In 2011 FIFA's Women's World Cup, Christine broke her nose during Canada's opening match, but she still played for the rest of the tournament wearing a face mask, which showed her determination. Later in 2011, Christine led Canada to gold at the Pan Am Games in Mexico, following up on her bronze medal in 2007. She was named Canada's Soccer Female Player of the Year 11 straight times from 2004 to 2014. She has also been nominated multiple times for the FIFA Women's World Player of the Year. In addition to all of her achievements, Sinclair has also become a role model for others. When she was growing up, there was no obvious female role models in sports. The women's soccer team was not selling out any stadiums, and women's soccer did not have a presence on television. This has all changed with the international success that Sinclair and her teammates have had. When Sinclair and her teammates returned from the London Olympics, a significant number of parents raced to register their children in coaching clinics that featured the Olympians. When the women's soccer team returned from London, they have also inspired girls that play sports to continue playing and reach their goals, as well as inspire girls to start playing sports. She has therefore become a role model for girls in sports. Christine and her teammates have inspired people that have never watched soccer or any other sport to watch women's soccer, become fans, and become involved in the sport. The Olympic Games are a big part of today's society that have greatly evolved over time. The Games began over 2,700 years ago in Olympia, Greece. Every 4 years, around 50,000 people came to the Games in Greece to watch and take part. The ancient Olympic Games were a religious festival that were held in honor of the king of gods, Zeus. Athletes competed for the glory of their city, and winners were seen as being touched by the gods. Contrary to today's modern Olympic Games, the main event of the ancient Olympics was not the sporting events. On the third day of the ancient Games, the main event took place when 100 oxen were sacrificed and burnt on the altar of Zeus. The events that were included in the ancient Olympic Games were running, discus, javelin, long jump, wrestling, and boxing, and horse racing. Only men and boys and unmarried girls were allowed to attend the Olympics. The future of the athletics is looking positive as technology and training has become significantly advanced over time. Scientists and experts have developed ways for athletes to rise a step above their competitors. Personalized nutrition can be developed for athletes based on genetics and personal needs. People have realized that genetic differences can affect the way bodies absorb, metabolize, and utilize nutrients, as well as why the interaction of our genes with certain food components can influence our health and nutritional status. Creating the necessary tools to develop personalized programs using evidence-based science from the emerging area of personalized and population-level genetic research will allow sports science professionals and practitioners to collaborate in a shift that will improve our current multidisciplinary team approach for achieving optimal health, fitness, and athletic performance. When personalized nutrition is integrated into routine practice, we will better be able to predict the effectiveness of various training diets and aids, as well as determine risks for nutrient deficiencies and help athletes choose the right supplements to optimize health and performance. When it comes to high-performance sports, emerging science is the nutritional competitive edge of our future. Using the data that is tracked through smart technologies, it is also believed that athletes and coaches will be able to design training and conditioning that will target specific areas of athlete development. That's it for tonight's local news report, and I'll see you next week.